Hey, Ergod here, and it's time to talk about Mushoku Tensei, and we had another awesome episode. This time, Rudy's life got a bit more complicated. Being a big brother slash parent is not gonna be that easy, especially considering everything that happened with his family, his relationship with Aisha, and especially his relationship with Norn. But we're gonna get into that. One of my favorite things this episode was having Ruijerd back. I've missed him so much. He's one of my favorite characters in the entire series overall, and he brought some much needed perspective, especially for Rudy with his relationship with Eris. So let's get into it. Now we have Ruijerd and Rudy catching up a bit. We find out Ginger is also there, and that Ruijerd met with Roxy. But here is where we see who was in fact in charge of the group back, Aisha, showing how capable she is, and he was the one that made the trip a bit faster, suggesting they use the caravans there. But probably my favorite scene in this episode, or at least one of my favorite scenes, is Ruijerd asking about Eris, what happened with her. Yeah, it's complicated, said Rudy, but here is why I like Ruijerd so much. When we first met him at the start, he felt like this aggressive character, very angry, didn't know how to handle people. But here he was such a breath of fresh air, air, saying, maybe there's a misunderstanding. She doesn't hate you. Guys should talk it out a bit. If I meet her again, I'm going to try and find out her perspective. And this kind of gave Rudy a bit of food for thought, because he still doesn't know why Eris did what she did, how she ended their relationship there. He took it very personally. She kind of destroyed him there, to say the least. This is why we had the erectile dysfunction arc, but there's quite a big misunderstanding between them. She feels inferior to him. She has this inferiority complex. She feels she's not good enough for him. And this is why she also had sex with him, to kind of tie him down in a way, and left him to try and be stronger, become better for him. But that also triggered a lot of things for Ruijerd, that fear of abandonment, and put him into the state that we saw him at the beginning of season 2. I'm really excited to have that reunion between them, for them to talk it out and fix their relationship. And curious what Eris is going to do when she finds out the impact that she had on and Rudy, and how Rudy is going to react. And this is why I really liked Ruijerd here. Just him planting that seed there was so good, and I've missed him so much. I love him as a character. He's great, but also showing a bit of more for future events. Apparently, there's a history between him and Bodyguardy when they had that face-to-face meeting there, and some sparks were flying a bit, to say, until Rudy came in and the Bodyguard was like, I get it, so you're with him. Hopefully we find out more about their history, with them being in the war there, and I'm really curious. I like Bodyguardy as a character also, but he's kind of like this big mystery. We don't really know a lot about him or his history, to say the least. Now, Ruijerd wanted to leave, but at least he's gonna stay for breakfast there. They say their goodbyes to Aisha. She was very thankful for him. Norn, she's kind of the focus of this episode, which is great. This is why Mushoku is great. The character, the relationships between them. She's still very traumatized by what happened when Rudy met with Paul back in season 1, when they had that fight, and actually fighting, punching each other. Kind of made her scared of Rudy and hating him a bit. I really hope they can fix their relationship there, because she wanted instantly to go with Ruijerd, but Ruijerd calms her, comforts her, telling, "Hey, stay with Rudy there," which that was great. Again, Ruijerd was such an MVP. This episode is insane, but here is where the life gets more complicated. They have two kids they need to take care of now, Aisha and Norn. Paul sent them some money for them to go to school, But here is where we see kind of bit the differences between them. Aisha is this overachiever, really smart there. She still has the hairband that Rudy gave her back in season 1 there, and they kind of have conditions of going to school. She doesn't really want to go to school, Aisha, because she feels like she doesn't need it. She's very, very smart. She's probably one of the smartest character we have in the series, but depends on her score on the exam. And we see Norn, she's kind of lashing out a bit there, but what was great was while Aisha was chastising Norn a bit there for how they're handling that situation, she was a bit too much, especially for Norn. And I like that Rudy intervened after that, told her, hey, calm down, not everybody is the same as you. She might be trying as much as possible for her. Maybe for you it doesn't look that way. Just tone it down a bit. I really like that from Rudy there. That was great. And that's in general very good advice. Not everybody is the same way as you. Something that is easy for you might be hard for somebody else, and vice versa. It's very easy to be hard on somebody on a thing that you find easy. Now, Aisha wants to be their maid. She doesn't want to go to school. But here, this is why Sylvie and Rudy, they're great. They have this conversation there, what to do, what to focus. Rudy asking her advice and saying to focus on what they want, also not to just shut them down instantly. There, how to take care of them. But Aisha gets the perfect score, so she gets to have her wish to be the maid. But Norn didn't do as well in that score, and here is where we see a bit of the drift between the sisters. Also, Norn still doesn't trust Rudy. She doesn't like him at all because of what happened with Paul. And I feel so bad about her, but we're gonna get to that. She wants to live in the dorm. She doesn't want to stay home, and this is what I liked with Rudy here. He handled that situation with Aisha great, but also with Norn. He wanted to respect her decision, give her space slowly, not push her, not shut her down instantly. That could have made things worse. If you force somebody to do something they don't want, especially from somebody they don't respect or they don't like, the relationship is not in good place. But here is where you see that Aisha has her own internal issue. At first she seems this perfect girl, she's gonna do anything, everything, but she has her own complexes, thinking that Norn is getting special treatment because they're only half sisters, saying that her mother is just a concubine. Apparently their grandmother kind of put this idea into her head. Trying to remember, did we actually see her grandmother in the anime? I don't think so. Correct me down in the comments below. I don't fully remember, but I don't think we have seen her yet, which kind of gives me that impression of a very strict person in a way. Kind of has this mentality very fixed in her place, and they refuse to change their mind. I'm just assuming by the impression that Aisha gave me of her, but she feels a bit complex about that, which is very understandable. But Rudy doesn't care about it and loves them both equally, which is great, and comforts her. That was a great moment, and told her, hey, I tried, sorry about hitting the microphone, I tried to do what's best for both of you, so that's gonna be different here. So Aisha's gonna be the maid, Norn is gonna go to school, and I liked how Rudy told her, hey, be careful with this, brush your teeth, do your homework, respect your friends, and so on. Take care of yourself, ask for help if you need it, and visit home every 10 days. Why? Because I'm worried. I feel like slowly they're going to get there, but it's not going to happen overnight to repair the rift between them. And Norn, we see her in school, she's kind of avoiding everybody, even Rudy. She's not really making friends there. But this is not the only issue that Rudy had to deal with. That was way too funny what happened. Thanks to Linia and Pursena, they're not the smartest tool in the shed, the sharpest tool in the shed, to say the least. They had a gift for him and told him only open at home, and that's very suspicious there. But have Luke and Ariel asking to talk to Rudy because something has been happening in school. A lot of small-breasted girls were getting attacked, and apparently Linia and Porcena were asking for their underwear. So they stole the underwear for him to give it as a gift to because they thought it would be a good idea. So yeah, they're not very, very smart there. And if you think back at their first encounter there, when Rudy tied them up and let them shoot themselves, and from what I heard from the light novel readers, they were much bigger menaces than we have been let on to see in the anime. So yeah, they're causing a lot of issues, to say the least. And Rudy was instantly splitting them. No, I didn't know about this. No. But Arya believed him. But the cutest thing was Sylphie. Sylphie was so cute. She was worried that she wasn't enough to satisfy Rudy, but she was more than enough. And the teasing back and forth. Ariel is also great with that. After they clear up that misunderstanding with Rudy being cleared there, they run into Norn. She was lost, she didn't know where to find her next class. Luke goes on to help her, and here is where Linia and Porcena get a very stern conversation from Rudy, and they're about to go bully Norn until they realize Rudy telling her, hey, that's my sister, be careful what you're gonna do. They almost share themselves again. They're fun, but they're not smart. They're really not smart. But after that conversation, there is where you see that Norn's issues are deeper, kind of very similar to what Rudy went through in his first life, kind of shutting herself down, kind of skipping a school, depressed, staying in her room, or at least that's what that scene, the vibe that scene gave me here, which makes me sad a bit. Norn, such a cute kid, she should have her own childhood, but considering everything that happened, and her first encounter with her brother was one of the worst ways to see your brother, and considering the teleportation incident that happened with her father, what Paul, how he was during that period, losing her mother also. So she has a lot of trauma, to say the least. So I hope they're gonna be able to help her. But this is why Mushoku is great here, and Aisha also having her own issues. It's kind of funny, Rudy having to be the one to help other people here and taking care of them, and it's great to have Sylphie as support there. Overall, a great character focused episode. I've missed Ruijerd so much, and it's great to have Aisha and Norn. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought about the episode. What do you feel so far about part 2? I know a lot of people were hyping up the action, wanting the action more, but I like this aspect a lot of Mushoku. I like the action, I like the main plot also. I do hope we're gonna get back to the main plot also. I have a lot of questions, things, thoughts with Zen, with everything else happening, but this is part of Mushoku, the characters, their lives, trials and tribulation, everything that is happening, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Mushoku. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.